Hello, I'm Michael Ruff. I'm 45 years old, I live in St. George, Utah, and I'm auditioning for Face Off, and I'm so excited. My art career started when I was 2 years old, when I could pick up something and write on the walls. Drove my mom crazy. After she weaned me from that and turned me on to Play-Doh, I realized I love to sculpt. And it's been that way my entire life. I got my start about 3 years ago when I went to my first Star Trek convention in Las Vegas. I was talked into it by my wife and her friend Joe, and I wasn't sure what I was going to do or what to expect. So I started doing a little research and found that they had a costume contest. My wife saw me kind of laughing at these things and she said, "So you think you could do better, huh?" And I said, "Well, maybe." She said, "Well, let's see you do it." That led to what's been the last 3 years, an odyssey of creativity and exploration that I had no idea that I was getting myself into. The first costume that I decided to build was a Borg. For a newbie, that was probably the worst mistake in the world to try. After 3 months of working together, putting together a nice sculpt, casting in concrete, which as far as I knew was okay, but everybody else later said, "What?" And then using slush latex casting, I had a suit that I finished in the middle of our hotel. Our maid probably thought we were building a bomb. It was a mess. I had electronics everywhere. I had spray paint, I had batteries, wires, you name it. They didn't even come into the room. They would ask, "Can we come in?" I'm like, no, please don't. I didn't want to have my work interrupted by the ATF or the Department of Homeland Security. Long story short, I get it done. I walk half mile to the convention center and I am sweating like crazy because this is Las Vegas, it's 110 degrees. I learned a great lesson that day. Make sure that everything is together or else it will fall apart, especially if you're walking. I get up on stage and everything kind of blows up, but I still made top 30 because it was it was a good sculpt. And then they take us backstage and my wife is duct taping me up like crazy and they call us back out on stage and I'm holding myself up like this, trying to keep things together, and I ended up getting a top 10, which was way more than I expected for my first time out. And that really pushed me into the next level. That got me hooked on costuming and FX designs. My next attempt at a costume was a replica of the Deep Space Niners, Take Me Out to the Hall Suite Niners baseball uniforms. I did one for my wife and I. We started with a base of a uniform and then built up the design through the lettering, did the application, did everything that we could to make it look just like it was on the screen. And we brought that to the convention and we got top 30 again. So the next year I decided to do, well, another Borg. But I wanted to go bigger, I wanted to go badder. And I thought, what's badder than the Hirogen from Voyager? Not only a Hirogen, but a Hirogen Borg. I knew it would take a while to get this thing done. So I put together a schedule and figured it would take me about a year with the amount of time I had to just get it done. At the end of the time period, I had finished the costume. And I wasn't finishing it in the hotel room, which was my main goal. So I put on the suit. It took about 45 minutes to get into it. And I walk out of the room. We get onto the elevator and people start moving away because here's this 6'5" alien walking in with this huge arm, light splashing everywhere, and a laser on top of his head. And I'm thinking, oh, yeah, so people aren't saying anything to me at all. And we ride down the 30 floors to the casino floor, and there's Rod Roddenberry. And he looks at me and goes, "Oh my gosh, that's awesome." And he wanted to take my picture. And it was pretty cool because I got a picture with Rod Roddenberry, the creator of Star Trek's son. It was awesome. And I'm thinking, well, maybe it's all right. So we start walking through the casino towards the convention. We don't get 30 feet before people are just mobbing us. We got security, I've got staff, I've got people coming from the slot machines. They're all wanting to take the picture. At first I thought I was in trouble, that I was because I had this big mechanical arm that looked like a gun. Well, it was a gun. It could shoot a net. It was pressurized air. At any time I could have launched a net 30 feet out and taken 8 people down with this huge net. I wanted to do it. It was fun, so I made it work. But I never got to shoot it. Maybe next year. So, long story short, we get through. I've spent 10 hours in that suit. And I was really happy I built in structure and straps and support measures, because if I hadn't, the thing would have just died. I would have died. It would have fallen apart. but I was able to stay in that suit for 10 hours. And at the end of the 10 hours, we get up on stage, and I'm seeing my ancestors. I just want to get out of the suit. I didn't care if I won. At this point, I was just like, just let me out of the thing. Final judging comes, and I get second place. And I was really excited about that because it was validation for the amount of time and effort that I put into it. Even after that, it left me wanting more. And that's one of the reasons why I'm auditioning for Face Off, because the amount of tools and resources that you have and the challenges, it's not me, it's not all on me. I'm satisfying a need that people see and the challenges that the audience wants to see. And I love making people happy. I love when my work inspires other people and they look at what's being done and go and feel they could do it too. I'm just a guy here on my kitchen table. I'm building stuff out of dirt and materials. And I think that's exciting. And I want to be able to show people that you don't have to be have a degree in art. You don't have to be an expert artist to do these things. You just have to want it and apply yourself and work at it, and you could really excel and be what you want to be. And that's what I bring to the table. And I appreciate you listening to me and giving me the opportunity to audition for Face Off.